We are now
Started. Too bad. Started.
on the camera.
You are now entered the spin zone.
The spin cycle.
The spin cycle. We are the laundry washing machine podcast where we review washing machines.
Yeah, can we just take a minute and talk about the different types of fabric softeners we use currently in our society and how it's currently damaging how we clean clothes? You know?
It's damaging my clothes. I don't know. I just throw it in there, throw some soap in there. I'm good.
Yes.
And then I just stay away from people and nobody can ever tell me that I stink. I am glad to see that I can see you today.
Yeah, the internet is back alive.
Alive and
getting
well.
Getting like 8 megabit speed was terrible yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the other day. So it's nice to be back in the high 200s again, where I'm still 200 under what I should be getting.
So are you rated to get 400?
5.
Okay. Math. That's because you're sharing with your neighbors.
I better not. My password's too hard. It's cats and dogs, but I won't tell you where the and is.
Cats and dogs. I won't tell you what order the letters are.
Yes, you have to guess.
Yeah, I feel fortunate to have a gigabit. Which I'm sure a lot of people on here are like, whatever, gigabit, big deal. But yeah, you live in Nowhereville, and you just live in a new division. So
yeah,
it's kind of
I live out in the middle of nowhere, close to the city.
Mm.
So it's like 10 minutes I'm in the city, full force in the city, but then you drive 10 minutes and you're like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. So
you're in the middle of the city and then you're in the middle of nowhere within 10 minutes.
It's one of those perks, you know.
Cool. Yeah. Well, let's get into it. So, have you heard of monsters?
Yes. And I'm excited.
The one shot?
Yes. Oda's baby.
Baby. Yeah, so they had come out with an anime adaptation of Monsters. They called it Monsters 103 Mercies Dragon Damnation, which is one of the attacks that Zoro uses. He calls out when he's fighting King. So
kind of a little play to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am cool. Excited.
So I mean, I don't know if you've read it. I'll just kind of give a little bit of a description. So it's about a couple of characters. Ryuma, obviously a famous Wano swordsman, who exists in the actual One Piece universe, and that's loosely what this is based on. Oda has said that it's like they are tied together, but you could tell it's a little loose, yeah. Which is okay. But he essentially goes into a cafe, and meets the waitress named Flair, and she treats him to a meal, and he basically just says, I'll pay you back, even if it's with my life. A little dramatic. And in the same restaurant, they're greeted by Shirano, who's a famous swordsman who saved that girl, Flare, from a dragon. And they kind of go into the mostly the dynamic between the three of them. There's one other character in there that's kind of like a henchman, but those three are kind of the main ones. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of nice to have, a callback to one of Oda's older greats. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll have to give a in-depth review. So excited.
Weekly anime update. There's a new episode of One Piece. And obviously it's not spoiler if you're reading the manga, but if you're not and you haven't watched the last episode that came out on Sunday, well, it was Saturday, really, then this would be a spoiler for you. But Bonnie and some of the crew, like specifically Luffy. So Luffy gets his new cool outfit, his Egghead Island outfit, and he kind of was forced into wearing that outfit. But when he came out with it, the police started going after him because they were like, they thought that he stole it because he like went into the place, he got dressed up in this stuff, and he just walked out. And so the Kuma police are coming after him. And so he's about to lay the beat down on him, and Bonnie gets upset. And this is kind of, at least in the anime, the first time that it's said that Kuma is her dad. And now I'm going to go into spoilers with the manga. So Kuma's not her biological dad. But
he's not her stepdad. He's the dad that stepped up.
That's right. That's exactly what I mean. So yeah, she freaks out because Luffy's about to punch him, and she doesn't want him to punch her dad. So why don't you go into the latest chapter of One Piece for us?
I liked it. It's definitely, we're back in the action, back in the saddle. I mean, the flashback was good. It was really long. And now we've had a few chapters of just what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a good hit. You gave Saturn a good hit.
Right in the kisser.
Didn't seem like it did really anything overall, but kind of like hard to expect that it would have.
Yeah.
And
the anime will probably drag it out. It'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, for real.
One of the times I want it to be dragged out a little bit.
Yeah. I find ourselves in a tricky situation where it's scramble time for the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going every which way. The Buster call has been announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting. There's lots going on. It's not going to be easy, but the thing that I wanted to talk about and think about was how the ship that left the day before.
Yeah.
And it did not get captured. And the warships that followed it were destroyed. So what ship was that?
I don't know. So there was
That is the
a ship that
speculation.
escaped, but they're not saying who was on it. So we can only speculate.
Well, because it has to be someone emotionally connected to Vegapunk, because they say that ship that snuck out yesterday, we sent warships to go destroy it. And he was like terrified, right?
Uh-huh.
And so it had to have been someone important. It had to have been someone either that had lots of important information or just someone that he cared about. And after seeing the wreckage of the ships, the warships, you can think either on that ship was someone very powerful or someone very powerful saved them or intercepted them.
So you mean someone he cared about, somebody who Saturn didn't want, obviously, to escape.
And someone Vegapunk had some kind of feelings for.
Feelings for.
Feelings.
Yeah, who could that be?
I'm trying to think, like, everyone is on the island right now that I know of that he has, like, feelings for. I mean, you have Kuma, Bonnie, Borsellino. What's the big guy's name? That he
Sentomaru.
actually sent tomorrow. Good job.
Close.
Those are the ones that we've seen him interact with and be happy about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so who could be on that other ship? Like,
no I mean, idea. Is there? I don't know about caring about them, but I feel like it's important for any of the satellites to get away because they all have the collective knowledge of Vegapunk, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if any of them escape, then they escape with, all of that knowledge that he's accumulated. So I feel like that's important. So it's a possibility that any of them have escaped. Let's see.
We'd have to take stock of where each one is and then figure out if anyone's missing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 are dead. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It's speculation. I'm sure we'll find out, if not next chapter, the one after that. Because that person, whoever saved them or whatever, could be on their way back or over to Egghead to stir up some trouble. And
so that was that at the end. They're indicating that somebody is coming, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it was insinuating. It's just we have to warn Emperor Kizaru, Admiral Kizaru, that this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So who's coming? I don't know. And that's exciting to me because it's a mystery.
Mm-hmm. I had heard a couple of people say that they think it's Blackbeard.
I mean, it could be. It just depends on at what point and how quickly he finished up with Law.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what it comes down to.
Or the Cross Guild.
That was a funny idea. I did hear that one. Cross Guild shows up, take the poneglyphs from Luffy.
That'd be great.
I think it was on the Grand Line review that he says he was reading about how a comment that it'd be funny if Buggy somehow got the credit for taking Saturn down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually haven't watched that one yet, so
that's pretty
glad
funny.
I came to a similar conclusion. as a random commenter, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll see. Really, there's a lot of pieces on the board right now, and we'll see.
Oh, one more possibility that I would actually really like is the Revolutionary Army finally shows up and helps Luffy out. But
I would love that, but just there's no way. I would love it though. That's
His
because
absentee
Kuma.
father will never show up.
I won't. Kuma literally left where Dragon was,
Yep.
like very, very recently, and I don't think Dragon has the ability to travel that fast. So
No.
he could ride the wind, whatever his
Ride the
power is.
wind waves. So you can only hope someday.
What I kind of hate about the Revolutionary Army in general is like I can't really see the big impact they've had anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't see in the story, even with the flashback and everything, it shows them like liberating villages and doing stuff like that. But I don't think there's a lot of impact that they've had in the story at all. Like if they weren't in the story, I don't think there would be a ton missing.
There's
Except
like
for Luffy's dad.
there's like some reveals of information. Like when Sabo saw Emu, somebody's on the throne. So there's stuff like that,
But guess who also saw Wapple?
yeah, Wapo's just as impactful, I guess. No. True. That's funny.
So anyway, and then they go through all this strife to save Kuma, and then he just dips instantly.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Boy.
Oh. No.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm just excited for the next chapter. Get it read this weekend though. I'm gonna be gone in Denver.
Why would you
And
want to go
what
there?
I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do?
You're gonna make videos?
I think so because Sarah and I have tickets to go see Vegapunk in Denver.
Nice.
So if anyone out there is listening and wants to say hi at the show, I will be there.
What show is this? I mean, but you're just going to Vegapunk, or are you going? Is Vegapunk going to like a convention or something that you're going to?
Oh, it's a concert.
Oh, it's a concert. Okay.
Yeah, in case anyone doesn't know who that is, that's fine. They sing 2 intros for Black Clover and 1 outro for Fruits Basket, and then they have just total bangers. Like their songs and their shows are awesome. And so what I want to do, and I highly doubt I'll have the courage, is get a Black Clover poster and see if I can get a signature. Because if I could get a signature on a Black Clover poster, it's going right there.
Right where?
Right there. So yeah. I hope I can. And I also hope that there's enough nerds there that they play Black Catcher or Black Rover. At least one of those.
Man, they better.
And if they do, I'm recording that whole thing and we'll post it on the channel. It's going to be sick. So
sweet.
So yeah, looking forward to that.
I'm super jealous. That's awesome.
Ever since Baby Metal came to the States and I thought, I'm going to go see Baby Metal. When are they going to show up? And I saw that I missed the tour by a week when they came to my town. A week. I was pissed. I was so mad. So now, no more regrets. I will travel to Denver, and I will see Vegapunk.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Anyways, so sweet. I will post stuff about that. Maybe I'll vlog my adventure because that's one of the perks of being in an anime relationship. We're going to try to hit up as many anime stores and anime themed stuff as possible while we're there.
Nice.
So,
yeah, if you see any sweet figures, let me know.
I will.
Cool. So. I also noticed you have a sweet new shirt. Spy Family. Who doesn't love Spy Family?
This just shows anyone can have anime merch. $4 at Walmart.
I know. Steal.
So anyone can go get anime merch these days. You don't have to just go to Hot Topic and pray that they have the thing you want.
Right.
Not anymore. You can go to
Oh,
Walmart.
they have a pretty good selection at Walmart now. So,
Yeah, for real.
all right. So I have a question. A question you need to I think I already sent it to you. It's been a couple of days though. Um, so what I wanted to ask you, what is more important to you when it comes to anime? Entertainment or quality?
Okay, I did think about it. You did send it to me, and I did think about it.
Okay.
And I will give you a Reader's Digest of my synopsis. That is, you have quality of story, and you have quality of animation, and then you have entertainment factor. I consider those the three pillars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can have quality animation, but it's not a. Did I say quality animation, quality story, or entertainment, right? So you can have quality visuals, but a bad story and have it not be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Just like as if you can have terrible animation, but quality writing, quality story, and very entertaining. And so I feel like these pillars can all exist, and very few are all three.
Mm-hmm.
One that comes to mind is The Way of the House Husband. I love the show,
Yep.
but the quality of animation isn't really there because it's not meant to be an anime. It's more just like a how would you call that type of animation? It's just more like stills that they're animating slightly. So
Yeah.
it's almost like you're reading a live manga,
Yeah.
but the entertainment factor is high and the quality story is high, and
Mm-hmm.
so the animation quality does not have to exist there. You know.
Sure.
Um, And then you have shows, in my opinion, that are all three that I think everyone could agree with, which is Full Metal Alchemist, where the animation is amazing, the story is amazing, and it's very entertaining.
Right.
So now, which one do I prefer?
Mm-hmm.
I actually prefer to be entertained, but you have to have at least one other pillar in it, in my opinion,
For it to be entertaining.
for it to be best. Like one other example I'll use is Ruby. Now Ruby's terrible animation, especially well now it's like getting better because like
Yeah.
the technology's there.
It
But in the
starts off pretty
beginning,
rocky.
oh, it is rough. But that story is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining. Like the fight scenes, especially in the later seasons, are so well choreographed. I dare say that they have the best choreographed fight scenes of probably 99% of anime out there.
Yeah, I think their choreographing has always been fantastic. That's kind of been their main thing throughout the entirety of the show, where they were lacking in other areas. But I couldn't get past the animation initially because it's just like it's animated in a style that I don't like in the first place,
The
and
the
then it's just
3D PS2 animation.
yeah, it's like I don't know, a little too
Yeah.
CG cartoony. So
No, and so but yeah, that's my thought on it is I don't mind being entertained, but part of the reason why I don't like the vending machine anime, it was entertaining a little bit, but it's not something that I'll continue to watch, I think, just because I feel like the quality is not there.
mm-hmm.
It just seemed way too it seemed like it just was entertainment and that's it. So I'm curious on your thoughts though, because I feel like you have slightly different thoughts than me in a way.
I do. To me, the entertainment is encompassing the quality. Like it's not entertaining if the quality, if the right type of, and I think it essentially means the same thing that you said, but it's not entertaining if it doesn't have those other pieces. So like, for example, like Mob Psycho 100,
Mm,
the animation is kind of crap. But
yeah.
the story, it's not like this deep story or anything. So you can make an argument that the quality may not be there, but it is a type of story that kind of draws you in. um and and it's funny, and that's kind of just how that mangaka does his stuff, because like his quality of animation is always trash. Like he is the worst artist I've ever seen in my life. Like I could draw better with my feet. Like, but he knows what to write to make it entertaining. Um, overpowered characters. Like I feel like he was. I don't want to go as far as like he's the first, but um, he just did a really good job really early on about um, and putting those overpowered characters out there, like Saitama, um, and making it entertaining and funny in a different way. With like still having some kind of power scaling system. So
Yeah.
I don't need like this. Like I can appreciate a story that has like this deep plot, but to me, that's not necessarily what makes it quality. The quality is it's just a different type of quality. Is it quality, the type of quality that keeps my attention, um, or is it the kind of quality that's like, okay, this I can appreciate the complexity of what's going on, how this was written, um, and it's making me feel like a bunch of emotions or whatever. So I don't know, entertainment encompasses it all. So I would have to say entertainment is more important to me, because like I can watch a whole show and I don't really care what's going on the whole time, and I'm still enjoying it. So, but if
Yeah.
it's, I'm trying to think of like a show that's not really entertaining to me. Um, what's a
Uh,
bad show?
it's a bad show. Well, I know a few. I think what you're saying though too, like, is the concept is maybe something in my mind that I didn't calculate, because sure, the story itself is not too impressive, but the concept is impressive. Like, he's the guy who does One Punch Man and Mob. He's
Mm-hmm.
very good at taking an idea and creating a concept around that idea that is humorous. So you have a person who is the strongest, um, like Esper ever,
Mm-hmm.
but he is socially awkward and incredibly weak.
Yep.
And he doesn't want to use his ability. And the same with Saitama. He is incredibly strong and the pinnacle of human perfection in every way, but nobody knows him. Nobody likes him. He does not know how to interact,
Mm-hmm.
like, without looking weird. And those are very real ideas, like funny concepts that aren't a big thing. They're not like this revolutionary thing, but they're so entertaining because they're fun to see someone who should be that
Inherently
powerful and
weak.
famous and cool, but they're not. Or it's almost like a psyche type thing where he's like, you probably think because I have all these powers that I'm super rich and
Yeah.
everything, but you're wrong, because for every power I have, there's a dumb thing that goes on to counter it.
Yep.
And um, It's just
I
those
love the clever
stories.
takes
Yeah.
on things like that. You know what? You know what's really entertaining? A really entertaining show?
Hmm.
Code Geass. You
Um,
take that back.
I have had some revelations.
Oh no.
I was
Oh
thinking
no.
about it and I think, why do people like the show? And I thought, I think season one was good. I do. Like, I think what ruined it was season two for me. Like, it was like season one was actually a pretty good show, and
I mean,
I feel
that's
like it was quality. It's almost like a Death Note thing where season one was phenomenal, and season two was like, all right, I guess I'm still watching the show.
yeah. You're like,
That's why
oh, we'll
I'm
keep writing
disappointed.
this story because it's making money and
Yeah,
running into the
you
ground.
buried it. No, but I've come to terms. But you want me to tell you what I think is going to be entertaining that I'm going to start watching?
What?
Migi Todali.
What is that?
It's an anime, obviously,
Yeah,
about
it
these
sounds like one.
twins. Have you not heard of Migi Todali?
No.
It's finally a whole season's out, and Sarah and I are going to start watching it. You should look it up. It's about twins that get adopted, but the parents who adopt them only think there's one kid.
Yeah,
That's what I call a good concept.
I like it already.
So like they just like switch places and stuff, and
Yeah,
the family does not know that there's two.
nice.
And
What is this on? Is this on Crunchyroll or
that's a
Netflix?
good
Or...
question. I might have to see if it's on Crunchyroll or High Dive, but I think it's
Okay.
on one of them.
All
But
right.
it's one we're gonna start, and I'm really excited because the whole season's out, and that's when I usually like to watch stuff.
Yep.
So
Speaking of stuff that you like to watch that aren't finished.
I did watch it.
Yay.
Sarah and I we binged it.
Very
Because we were
good.
going to record the other day, so we binged it before we recorded, and then my internet went to crap.
Yep. Well, I mean, there was what was there? There was only one additional episode, right?
Yeah, but she hadn't
But
seen
you
any of
both
them.
watched all of it. Okay.
Yeah,
Right. Sweet. So I mean the latest episode kind of gets into more of gives you a better idea of like how fast he's progressing.
yeah. Well, visually, it's really cool too because he sees a monster, and it's like a red or an orange.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he's leveling up, you start seeing those same monsters, and they go down to yellow, and they go down to green. Because he's getting stronger, just like in an RPG. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is a dangerous thing. It's really strong, so it's like red.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool how he just spends all that time in that dungeon and he just levels up a bunch. Just like in a video game, you always level up quickly in the beginning, but then you get to that point where you're just fighting all these weaklings and you have to get to the next area. You got to level up more. I'm assuming that's going to happen, is he's going to have to start fighting stronger things
Mm-hmm.
to level up more.
Yep. A little bit more
So,
of a grind for you to be able to level up more. But
yeah.
no, I love the part when he comes out and the kind of just this piece is a lot more telling to me of how much he's improved. But he comes out of that dungeon, and all of these hunters are fighting. I think they're D rank for the most part,
There
except
was
for the B rank.
a handful of E, a few D's, and then the girl who's the B rank. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just not really doing much of anything. And then he just chucks a broken sword at the monster and hurts them just enough that their attacks start actually landing and affecting him, and it goes down. And they're like, that one dude's just like, "Where'd this sword come from?" Like, I could have sworn somebody threw this. And then I think it was the policeman. I told him it was this guy over here. Oh, he's gone. So that was pretty sick.
That was cool. It's kind of amazing because he goes out there and he's like, that thing's weaker than the thing I just fought.
Mm-hmm.
And he just chucks the sword. Like, I thought it was pretty dope.
Yep. And it shows his
Yeah.
arm, like his forearm is just jacked, but the rest of him still
Swole.
looks weak. I'm like, what the heck?
I'm glad he's doing what he's doing because story-wise it makes sense. But he's putting all of his stats into strength because he's been weak his whole life.
Yep.
But I've always been the kind of person who likes to, like, I would be moving agility up as well.
Yeah.
Because being able to dodge and move quickly is very important. But I think for him, he's always been pretty nimble.
Yeah.
But he's been weak. So I think he's incessantly, I don't think he's put a point in any other stat at this point. It's all gone to strength.
Yep.
So, and then he got that one thing that was a 40% increase on all stats. So,
So he does have an increase in other stats. He's definitely focusing on strength right now. But I think that's partially because he doesn't really understand the importance of the other stats yet. So
yeah. And it's around this time that Daniel puts a pin to some developers out there to create a fitness app like unto his in the story, so that Daniel can be thin again.
Make the app.
Go forth, but you have to make it so it actually punishes you. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you need to punish people for not exercising. I don't know where you're going to get the giant centipedes from.
Daniel yearns to be like darkness from Konosuba.
I just never do the exercise and just be punished
down for hours on end.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just want to real quick before we end here, plug that just so everybody knows, we do have the podcast now on Spotify. I'm planning on putting on another some more TikToks. I think once you go to this show, it'd be good to use some of that for TikToking, and then those TikToks always go on our shorts, so you can check out those on either platform, or sure, like YouTube Shorts. But yeah, that's all we got for today. Thanks, everybody.
Cool. Peace.